So it looks like they finally caught the son of a bitch that killed Donte Chisolm and wounding his wife, Desiree Chisolm. They actually caught the 26-year-old man by the name of Victor McMiller. Victor McMiller was actually arrested last week Monday after warrants for his arrest were obtained. Now, he was released on parole this past June after serving 2/3 of a 5-year and 2-month prison sentence for possession of marijuana and tools to commit a crime. He was also charged with having a gun as a convicted felon. Back in 2010, after tying McMiller to an armed robbery, McMiller ended up indicted for that crime. Since that time, more instances of McMiller being charged and jailed for having a gun as a convicted felon and violating the terms of his probation. Again, McMiller was released back in June after serving 65% of his 5-year sentence. He had served the full term. He would have been behind bars until April of 2020. Donte Chisolm, who was also a UPS driver, his job, the UPS service, they also are doing a toy drive or a collection for that way that their family can get some toys and just get some materials for for Christmas. Some of his old co-workers wanted to help his family out, so they got the UPS store on Bryan Street where they've been collecting donations for the family. So if you want to make a donation to the family, feel free to go to the Bryan Street UPS store and just help out if you can. And also, we had a deadly shooting on Saturday night, December the 8th, on Ogeechee Road at America's Best Value Inn to find 28-year-old Sandra Warren dead from gunshot wounds, and she later died and collapsed in the lobby of the motel. Witnesses told officers that the suspect was in a nearby room at the same motel. Officers located the suspect, who witnesses say was armed with a handgun. The GBI says Joshua Boyd was also shot and killed by police. Investigators say he had a gun and didn't comply with officers when they told him to put his hands up. And also, this wasn't the first time that they had a domestic incident. On May the 24th, 2017, an incident listed as simple battery, cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, and criminal trespass. In the complaint, Sandy Warren told officers that Joshua Boyd was her boyfriend and that they had a fight. The report says Warren's children were present when it happened. Boyd was gone when police arrived. The report goes on to say Warren did not want to press charges at the time, but she did indicate she wanted a police report to get a restraining order. Now, it's not been confirmed that whether Warren and Boyd were in a relationship when the shooting happened or if the restraining order was in place. Warren's friends confirmed that she was the mother of 4 sons between the ages of 4 and 15 years old. And also, in the next piece of news, on December the 15th, Savannah Police Department is investigating a shooting that resulted in the death of a 40-year-old by the name of Charles Lee on Saturday night. This happened about 9:30 p.m. Officers were called to a residence at the 1500 block of Lincoln Street and discovered Lee deceased from gunshot wounds. All parties involved were on the scene when officers arrived. Initial investigation revealed that an altercation took place that resulted in Lee's death. Parties involved in that incident were known to one another. The persons of interest has been identified and interviewed. An arrest has not been made at this point. And also, in my last piece of news, 3 men conspired to kill a co-worker who was ready to turn them in. The 3 men indicted are all living in the U.S. illegally. Garden City officers found Eliud Montoya shot to death outside his home in August of last year. I did a video on that. If you want to see that video, I'll link that video in the description box. But also, they remained quiet about the investigation until the indictment was unsealed Thursday. Prosecutors say Montoya, a naturalized citizen, turned in his bosses for profiting off of undocumented workers and running a scheme to hire them. The indictment accuses the men of going to any means necessary to silence Montoya, even to the point of killing him. The U.S. attorney says Montoya was killed for doing the right thing. Eliud Montoya was a naturalized U.S. citizen who worked for the Savannah area tree service known as Wolf Tree. 2 days before his death, Montoya filed a formal complaint with the Federal Equal Employment Opportunity Commission saying that the tree service supervisor Pablo Rangel Rubio ran a scheme to employ what he called illegal aliens at the company. Prosecutors say Pablo was profiting from the company while also scamming pay from undocumented workers. This was not the first time Montoya reported this scheme. He also filed a complaint with the company officials 4 months earlier. When Pablo found out Montoya had blown the whistle and was ready to snitch on what they were doing, authorities say that he got his brother Juan Rangel Rubio and another undocumented worker, Eugenio Perez Bravo, to help plot the murder. Authorities allege Pablo Rangel Rubio paid Perez Bravo to assist Juan Rangel Rubio in killing Mr. Montoya in retaliation for reporting the conspiracy. This conspiracy is believed to have netted the brothers more than $3.5 million during the 10 years the scheme went on. The two brothers are facing several charges, including conspiracy to kill a witness and money laundering. And guys, that's it for the news right now. There's a lot of news that I haven't talked about that we'll eventually talk about in a live stream probably tomorrow. There's a lot more stuff that's just been going on. I haven't really been doing updates like that because in the live stream that I talked about, you know, December is just one of the months that's just really busy for me, and I just really haven't had time to upload and do my thing. But you know, I'm back on the internet. I'm back on YouTube. I'm giving y'all content, and you know, I'm not going nowhere. But you know, like I said in that live stream, you know, December is like the busiest month out of any month of my life. So you know, there's a lot of planning and a lot of stuff I got to do on the back end just to make sure that I have my stuff right for Savannah Seaport News. So if you still want to stay updated, subscribe to Savannah Seaport News YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook. All the news is there. You know, even when I'm not posting a video, you know, all the news is still on my Facebook page and on my Twitter page, just in case if you just want to keep up to date. I got 2 live streams I'm going to do this weekend. Hopefully if I can do one tomorrow, and I can just do one on the weekend. But as for me, I'm out of here, man. Stay blessed.